Hey everybody, welcome to another game of War Machine. I'm Lightem'up. I got a battle today between my Forces of Skorne and a Protectorate of Menoth player. This will be game 2 from a War Machine Weekend 2016 scramble. I'm sorry I didn't get these posted earlier, but I was hoping to have all 3 posted at the same time, but I guess it's going to be once a week because things are just too busy with the holiday weekend. But I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Today my opponent was bringing High Executioner Servath Reznik. He's got Hierophant for his -1 cost of the spells, the Scourge of Heresy, which is a really sweet character jack. He's got a Guardian, 2 Reckoners, and a Redeemer in his battle group. With that, he's bringing a minimum unit of Choir, a Vassal Mechanik, and then the max Idrians with the UA, and rounding out the points with a single Wrack for that extra focus. His list is pretty legitimate. I mean, it's got enough hitting power in it with the Idrians to clear off chaff, and then with their prey they can do actually a lot of damage. And then his battle group is pretty potent, and being able to take a couple Reckoner shots onto a potentially no focus caster if you're going against a War Machine caster is nice, because Reznik's feat just removes focus points and prevents you from doing it again the next turn. I think that's his feat. Not really certain on that. And then Scourge of Heresy is an awesome Warjack. I really like his special abilities and his he's a good character for the points, basically. The game we're playing today, as you guys saw, is going to be the Take and Hold, what used to be called, what did it used to be called? I don't remember what it used to be called, but it used to be the #1 scenario in the packet. Now it's like the #3 scenario in the packet. But it's pretty simple. You just got to control or dominate the enemy flag for 1 or 2 points, and then you can dominate your friendly flag for 1 point, or caster assassination. So pretty simple scenario. It's really easy. I think it's a benefit for Skorne playing a scenario like this or playing a scenario like the Pit. I think Skorne can really do that attrition warfare to help them on those types of scenarios. Much better than doing something like Incursion. With that point though, I am playing my Xerxis 1 list. So it is the exact same list as the last battle report, because it is from a scramble, and the scramble uses just 1 list and 1 type of scenario for the entire tournament. It's a 3-round, 8-man tournament. And so my list, if you were not here last time, it is Xerxis 1 with the Despoiler, because Despoiler gives him that sweet free upkeep. Tiberion, so that he can be a shield guard and have that immovable object. And the Gladiator, of course, for Rush, filling out the battle group. I've got the Totem Hunter in there for a scurrying force that can get out there on the flanks and do some harassment, or get into the back zone and do some harassment, especially with prey. And if you saw my last battle report, spoiler alert, he can do a lot of damage to a caster. So he's also really good with someone that has a small control range. You can get someone ranging out there. On that, I've also got Tyrant Rhadeim and his max Ferox, or cats, with the Praetorian cats going out there. They can also be a flanking force. It really helps with Xerxes' control area being so small. 10 inches can be a pain sometimes. And then we got the minimum unit of Karax, once again because I don't own the full unit, or I do now, but I didn't have them painted at the time. And then a min unit of Beast Handlers, which honestly I was thinking about getting rid of for this list to free up some points, and I might still do that eventually. But that is my list, and we will get on to the battle report. Alright, so first turn here, we've got, I decided, I think I won first turn on this one, and I went first. My opponent gave me this side so that he can have that trench to hide in, and he has a wall that is protecting his flag a little bit. We've got the water on my side of the flag. I'm not really concerned about Pathfinder at all. I've got, the cats have natural Pathfinder, and Xerxes can give it out to the Karax. So we just deploy pretty essentially. It's pretty much the same deployment you saw in the last battle report. And then my opponent, he's got his Idrians up front. Those are the bare metal models. They're going to be an annoying force up front. They can do a lot of damage. I'll have to keep an eye out for them. And then his battle group is pretty symmetrical with the Reckoners on either side of Servath, and the Scourge of Heresy with his big flag there on my right, his left. And then I think the Redeemer is the other model, that is the other jack over there on his far left, my far right. After that, it's on to round, it's a pretty standard deployment, and on to round 1. Alright, so round 1, you'll see my cats moved up relatively aggressively, get behind that wall, a couple of them for the defensive bonus. They do have Defender's Ward up on them, so they will be 15-19s, not including any defensive bonuses. The Totem Hunter with his stealth is hiding out in the forest just to keep himself even more safe if he can. I don't know if he had anything that ignores stealth or not, but I just want to make sure he couldn't. And the Totem Hunter did prey the Idrians, specifically so that he can get to the guide and take prey away from them. Tyrant Rhadeim hanging out in the back, getting his 10-inch command bubble for the dodge to all the cats. The Karax moved up in shield wall with the march order from Xerxis and moved with tactical supremacy like 11 inches. Or maybe it was pushed to the limit. Either way. And then the beast just ran up centrally. And that was pretty much it for my turn 1. Alright, so my opponent's turn 1. You'll see that 3 of my cats are now missing. That is a problem. Turns out with Prey and CRA, I believe they have CRA, but anyway, with Prey, they were able to knock out both of the cats that were hiding out behind the wall, which was relatively impressive. And they knocked out a third one that was kind of just chilling out there on his own. I really did not expect them to be able to do that. 15-19 is a pretty hefty stat line with 5 boxes, but yeah, turns out they can do that. Other than that, he just moved up, took a couple random shots with the Reckoners, but I don't think they did anything. He may not have even taken shots with the Reckoners. I'm not sure what spells he got out there, but he did put Passage on his jacks for some reason. I remember that. I literally have no guns in this list whatsoever, so I'm not really sure what the Passage was for, but I mean, if you're a Protector player, I guess that's just kind of what you do, isn't it? Other than that, he moved his battle group up pretty much staying central. You'll see that he's got his Redeemers still protecting Servath, or Reckoners, sorry, protecting Servath. His Redeemer, I believe, is the one that is up front there, and then the Flag Jack, the Scourge of Heresy, is still back there, and I think the Scourge is the one with the Arc Note on it too. So yeah, the Idrians do have CRA, so they were able to CRA down a couple guys. And then it's on to my turn 2. Alright, my turn 2, you'll see that feat token down there. This was my feat turn. I decided to go ahead and pop it pretty much just for the defensive bonus. I'm not going to get an awful lot of work out of it with my offense. The 2 cats, besides Rhadeim, charged in to kill off a couple of the Idrians, did some impact attacks, and then some stabby with those guys. You'll see the circle there next to, or in between the 2 cats that are up front, was actually a rift shot out from Xerxis, and he was able to kill off a couple of the Idrians doing that to clear a path for the 1 cat to get in on his my opponent's jack. And then if you look way in the back there, you will see my Totem Hunter is engaging one of the choir members and the light jack back there, I think it is. I'm not really sure what that item is in the back there, but that is because he was able to get in, jump, and stabby the scout guide for the Idrians, therefore taking away their prey ability, which makes them significantly less dangerous. And it was a bad move on my opponent's part. He didn't know that my guy had such a long threat. I believe it's something like a 15-inch walking threat with 7-inch walk, 5-inch jump, and 2 inches of reach. So that was good. And then he sprinted off into the background there. So that was my turn. Other than that, you'll see the Karax moved up into shield wall again, getting in front of my beasts. The beast moved up behind the walls. Tiberion and Despoiler there up front, and then the Gladiator in the back for that little bit of extraness. I did manage to keep most of my beast handlers within 6 inches of my 2 heavies up front, so any damage he does do to me, I will be able to clean up. The idea here is that I'm going to be jamming him a little bit. I'm not going for this scenario. I'm just going to try to kill off all of his jacks. Since most of his Idrians are gone and his prey is gone, the jacks, if I can kill them, he really can't do much to me. So that was it for my turn 2, and we are on to my opponent's turn 2. So on my opponent's turn 2, you will see the cats are now gone. Not surprising. A little more surprising is that the fact that the Totem Hunter is gone as well. He did not send his jacks into me. Also not surprising since he was not looking forward to hitting a defense 13 Despoiler and then an armor 23 Tiberion with his shield and the bonus. He did attempt to take a shot at Rhadeim, and Rhadeim moved backwards a little bit, but still stayed within the inch of the wall. And really nothing died on my side except for the cats that I was expecting to die. So not a big deal for me. And then his jacks, he went ahead and lined him up in a nice little line there for me. He's got the Scourge of Heresy up front, Reckoner in the back, and the Redeemer in the middle there. And I am going to see just exactly what Xerxes can do without a feat. Alright, so this whole time I've been saying Redeemer, and while there is a Redeemer on the board, the Jack that was the Silver Jack that is no longer on the board, as you can see, was the Guardian, not the Redeemer. I do apologize. Yeah. So, this turn was good for me, as you can tell. I charged in with the Despoiler over the wall after giving him rush from my Gladiator, or from Xerxes, I mean. Despoiler charged into the Guardian, even with his set defense, and went to town on him, giving him his +2, giving him the -2 armor from Dark Shroud. Did not kill him though, but he was able to get his Dark Shroud onto all 3 jacks thanks to positioning. Then charged in Tiberion into the Scourge of Heresy, got a 1 big hit onto him from Tiberion, and then went ahead and finished off the other jack, the Guardian, and then went back to buying attacks on Scourge of Heresy and ended up killing him as well. So Chippers and Despoiler were able to take down those 2 jacks completely. You'll see I did max out both of those jacks though, so that was not ideal, but stuff happens. They were both enraged, and they one of them had rush on him, so that's how he was able to get there. So Despoiler was also giving the -2 Dark Shroud debuff to the 1 Reckoner over there, so I sent in as many of the Karax as I could get charges on. I gave them Stir the Blood, and then they went in and I got 4 charges into the Reckoner and was able to do 2 CMAs and do quite a bit of damage to that Reckoner that's on the right there. After that, Xerxes, you see, moved over towards my flag, and the Gladiator is just sitting there going, "Alright boss, I'm ready to send me in whenever you need me to." And then I switch over clock to my buddy, or to my opponent, and we are on to his turn. At this point, no control points have been scored, and I think I've got a pretty good lock on this game. I was able to take out a lot of his heavy hitters. So, on to my opponent's turn. You'll see he came in with the counter punch and tried to, instead of attacking my beast, he attempted to get into a position where he could take out Xerxes. Xerxes was sitting on, I believe, 1 transfer only, and I could only transfer 2 the Gladiator. And that dial sitting right next to me, the Signar dial, is how many health boxes I have, because it's just easier to track via that. And I believe he was able to do 12 points of damage with his Reckoner shots and his shots from, which I think he only got 1 Reckoner shot on me, but his shots from the 1 Reckoner, the Redeemer, the actual Redeemer with the grenade, not once per game, but the Skyhammer rocket, doing that, and he was able to get some points on me from that. And then he went up with Reznik and attempted to do some spelling into me, I believe. 1 second. Reznik doesn't have a gun. I think he did a couple of Hex Blasts into me. He tried to do 1 Hex Blast into me to finish me off, and was only able to do about 12 points of damage to me. So I was able to live through my opponent's counterattack, and his caster is sitting not far from Tiberion. So Tiberion is just going to go ahead and eat him. So let's see how my turn goes. Alright, sorry I don't have a better picture of this, but you'll just see my jacks moved over a little bit, and they were able to take out Reznik. He was pretty much sitting right there in the face of my Tibbers, so Tiberion was like, okay bud, I'll just go ahead and wail on you, and he was not able to survive that counterpunch. So it will be a victory for Skorne. Great game with my opponent. I love playing this game. I don't get to face Protector very often. I was happy to see Reznik. I hear High Reclaimer is pretty ball busting to play against, so maybe one day I'll play against High Reclaimer. But I am having a lot of fun with the Xerxes list. With the changes coming to Skorne in January, I want to see if this Xerxes list is still going to be viable. Probably end up taking out Totem Hunter to get points adjusted to wherever they need to be. And then if you guys have not seen on the forums as of yesterday, because I'm recording this Tuesday, November 22nd, Jason Souls came out and he did like a little short question and answer session on the Skorne pages, and I am really excited for some of these Skorne changes. I understand them raising the cost of the Gladiator. I don't quite agree with it, but I can understand why they would raise it. Hopefully he'll go up to Mat 7 instead of Mat 6, because Mat 7 is so much better. Mat 6 is just so sad. But I'm excited to see what the changes are going to be, and I hope that I'm still playing these guys come January, because if they buff us even close to what they said they were going to yesterday, I will probably be playing Skorne most of next year. Unless I can get my hands on some Storm Lances and a Hurricane, in which case you'll probably see me with some Haley 2, Nemo 3 action going on. But yeah, I am looking forward to playing Skorne next year. I'm coming about to the end of playing Skorne for this whole year this year. This is my first incursion into Skorne was in January, so I've been playing for about 11.5 months now. And I love the models, love painting them, and I hope to see you guys at the next event. See you all next week. If you like my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.